the space we occupy is service to you. That's right. And if we stop paying that price, if we ever stop paying that bill, if we ever forget that we owe you that, it's time for us to go. That's right.
In our previous episode, we talked about what a council person does, and there were three things. There was the lawmaking aspect of it. There is the constituent service aspect of it. We fix potholes and make sure that the street lights are on. But the third leg of the stool, an important part, is the budgeting process. And I want to take you quickly to how it all originates. And it doesn't start at the city of Philadelphia. It starts with the federal government, which is a huge, large, massive budget, both in taxing authority and in appropriations, both in capital budget, which are things that last more than 5 years. Then it goes to the state budget, because that's a part of what we receive here in the city of Philadelphia. That budget is approximately $83 billion. And then we get down to our budget, which is going to be about $4.2 billion. So the federal government is the largest, the state follows, and then the city appropriates. Now, what are some of those types of taxes that we know about? First part is that we have to find the money in order to create the budget that we operate on. Unlike the federal government, unlike the state government, we have to have a balanced budget. And not only does it have to be balanced 1 year, we have to project out 5 years, a 5-year balanced budget. So is it an absolute document that we can be sure of? No. It is a series of estimates on how much money we will get from various taxes and then what our annual expenditures will be. Where does it start? In the process. First part of the process is that the mayor, about November, December, reaches out to his various departments and says, hey, what did you spend last year? And how well did you spend it? Should we make adjustments up or down for next year? And so he goes to his various departments and gets that information. It is brought to him. He then figures out what he wants to emphasize, like he did in the mayor's budget address: firemen, reentry, other priorities that he has. He makes his adjustment and then he submits that in a budget presentation, the state of the budget. We then begin the process of asking him questions, asking his department questions. We begin that through a public hearing process after he does the address. I want to also thank you for your department's commitment to the Randolph Career Technical High School. They have a EMS and fire academy there for high schoolers that is the type of career, school to career program, and your officers there spend a lot of time mentoring those young people, and the fruits of that is that they go on to live productive lives, some of them even taking the test to be firemen. So thank you for that commitment, and we want to see it continue. So now, it comes down to the last final days. It must be passed before July 1. And if it doesn't, government, you talk about a federal fiscal cliff, well, we have one of those too. And we will not operate beyond that point. So we kind of put our heads together, make our compromises, and make our decisions and pass a budget. The most controversial thing this year was the sweetened beverage tax, infamously known as the soda tax. And what that was designed to do was deal with a deficit of funding for our recreation centers, for our libraries, and our parks. Also, $100 million of that money, proposed revenue, was going to go and is going to go for pre-K. What we realized in the budget process that if a child doesn't get preschool education, doesn't read up to par by the 4th grade, we actually know that there are a number of bad outcomes when they turn 18, such as people get involved in criminal activity. They can't get that good job. They don't go on to positive outcomes like college or the military or a good job. So if we invest here, we can get better outcomes there. Makes sense to me. So we imposed, it was an imposition on many, a beverage tax, which increased the price of the sugary drink. Well, this mayor, Mayor Kenney, said, well, you know, those things are important, but if you like your recreation center fixed, if you like your libraries modernized, then this is how I'm going to pay for it. And at the end of the day, City Council agreed. It has been passed, it's been challenged in court. It's on its way to the Supreme Court. Stay tuned. But on average, that revenue has been about $7 million a month that's going to go towards fixing rec centers in your neighborhoods. So stay tuned for that. When we think about what the end game is for revenues, it's what you see here. This is Triangle Park. It went from being a trash-strewn, abandoned lot where a lot of bad activities, criminal activities, actually happened here, to be an oasis for the community. It's bordered on 3 sides by residents, and all of them get to come out here. What you gotta remember is urban kids, many of them living below the poverty guidelines, don't get to go to Disney World during the summer. Triangle Park is their Disney World, a place where they can safely play, enjoy their childhood in a supervised, observed manner. So what Policy Post wanted to do, and hopes to continue to do, is explain government's process so that it is not a concept 50,000 feet up in the air, but right on the ground in parks like this, so that you understand. Welcome to Policy Post. I'm Councilman Curtis Jones, Jr.